Hello and welcome to Quartzlight, your car brochure channel, and today's Saturday special. Hello and welcome back. And Quartzlight, if you don't know, just a very small car brochure channel here on YouTube, doing car brochures 3 times a week. Looking at brochures really from around the world, although we tend to look at the UK brochures more than most, but we do occasionally look at other brochures as well. Today's your Saturday special though. Saturday special, kind of like look back on the week that's just gone by and sometimes a little bit of a glimpse of the brochures to come, so please stay tuned for that. So if you think that sort of thing will interest you, and I hope it does, please consider subscribing. Talking about subscribing, we've now reached 600 subscribers, so thank you so much for everyone who has subscribed to the channel. It really means a lot. 600 doesn't sound a lot for a big channel, for a very small little tiny channel like we've got here on Quartzlight. It's certainly a landmark. Overall, my aim this year is to get 1,000 subscribers. I'm hoping we're going to make that. We certainly seem like we're on track. So once again, thank you for everyone who has subscribed. Anyway, let's have a look at the brochures we looked at this week. Okay, so on Monday, of course, we looked at the Yugo Sana. Thank you for all the comments. A popular video overall, and an unusual car. I mean, love it or hate it. The thing about them, particularly in the UK, is the rarity of them. Not many around today. And when cars get to such low numbers, even cars, very average cars like this, they certainly become more interesting. Favourite picture in this, apart from this lovely front cover with this lavender, which looks really good, but my favourite image in this particular brochure, if I can find it, is this little image where Dad's pulling out this motor out of the boot of the Sana. No idea how he got the bolt there, but it's a great little image, isn't it? Text wise, and this is actually a bit of a passage that didn't really make the cuts, but it is a bit of wording that I'm going to read now because it is very nice. It says, "The result, an exquisite smooth shape." I don't know if anyone's ever looked at the Sana and thought what an exquisite smooth shape it is, but nevertheless, move around the car and you'll find our soft rounded lines, making the Sana's drag coefficient a low 0.32 and ensuring you fly through the air with the greatest of ease. Great little passage there for this particular brochure. Anyway, let's move on. We then had the Ape. Not much more we can really say about this. It wasn't a very high rating video, this one. I didn't expect it to be. It's not like, anybody owned one, and they weren't particularly popular in the UK, but I wanted to include it just because it's such an unusual, iconic Italian three-wheeled van. Anyway, moving on. And then yesterday, we had a look at this all-range Ford car brochure for February 1988. I was looking at this car, the Mark IV Ford Escort. Okay, so the Escort, of course, was an extremely popular car, a popular choice for many. It was really like street furniture. It was everywhere on the roads at this time. Amazing how quickly they all seem to disappear. But, if you're around 1988, what car would you have chosen? And this is a nice graph. It kind of like compares the different models within the Escort range, but also a nice little chart to compare. Hold on, I don't have to get an Escort if I don't want to. So we'll have a quick look at this chart. So, like I say, you didn't have to have an Escort, and there was some overlap with the Fiesta and the Escort, quite a big overlap really, to be honest with you. The standout with the Escort range was really that Cabriolet, which was a big jump from your XR3i to your Cabriolet. It was quite an expensive car, that Cabriolet. But if we compare that to other models, For example, the Orion, a lot of people used to refer to, the Orion is an Escort with a boot, we often used to say. But you can certainly see when you compare the Escort with the Orion, the Escort had a much wider choice of models at the time. You could get that Escort Popular for not much money, where you had to step up a lot for the Orion. And I kind of feel that they tried to make Orion look like a more upmarket car than the Escort. Like I say, didn't introduce it as a Popular, so it was a big jump up to start on the Orion range, where if you compare an Orion L, it was quite well into the Escort range, but the Escort range was vast at this time. The only other interesting thing, and the thing to note with the Escort, if we look at the chart, this at the top here is referring to how much they cost. This is kind of like an interesting comparison, because really the Escort and the Orion really wasn't a step up, really, was it? It was just an Escort with a boot. But the Sierra certainly was a big step up from an Escort, and the very basic Ford Sierra, your 1.6, that's not even an L, started off around about, I think it was just under $8,000. So there was still a choice on there that you really wanted an Escort rather than a Sierra, because kind of like your Escort GL into your Escort gear was really when you started looking at the Sierra range, and Sierra was a lot more of a car. But I think that's just an interesting thing. I do like these charts because, at the time, why did people pick a particular car? And I can certainly understand, with these Escort Populars, I can understand why people got an Escort Popular. You've got enough money for a Fiesta, but it's not quite big enough, so you can well get into them Escort Popular territories to get you on, your first new car. With that in mind, I think the pick of the Escort range is actually that very lowly Escort Popular that really the brochure really doesn't talk about much, but it really gets you out of the Fiesta range and into a larger practical hatchback. Of course, you buy this with dreams of one day having your XR3i, but I think that one makes the more sense in this range, for me anyway. So there we go, that's our Saturday episode. As promised, a look into the future. So on Monday, we're going to be looking at the full Triumph range for 1973. It's an interesting 50th anniversary brochure, that one. Even includes the prices, so you'll want to see that one. On Wednesday, we're going to look at the Citroen Ami. No, not this new electric one. The beautiful, quirky Citroen of, when Citroens really were Citroens. That's a brochure, a couple of brochures actually, 1973, 1974, so you want to see that as well. And then we'll wrap up the week with Ford Friday, and we're going to continue our story. We're going to move on and look at the Ford Orion for 1988. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for all those 600 people who have subscribed, if I can say the word subscribed. But please do subscribe if you haven't already. It really does help the channel. But for now, we'll say thank you so much for watching. Please do like and subscribe. We'll see you very soon. Take care and goodbye.